Behind the mask.
And we got another special guest. All guests are special, but this one is a little bit special, right? I would love to even do the intro. He really doesn't need an intro, but this is your dog, your homie. You told one of the best stories of all time. Go ahead and give it to us.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got the two-time All-Pro, 9-year NFL vet, really a 10-year NFL vet.
Right,
decade, down for the time. More importantly, a big bro to me, welcomed me with open arms when I got drafted to the New Orleans Saints. My man, my big homie, advocate for cannabis, Kyle Turley. Yeah. What's good, family? How you doing?
Good. Hey, man, I'm so excited to be here, brother. This is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Listen, every time I see you from day one when we met, I still have this big smile on my face because it's always love with you. Again, took me under your wing as a young jit, you know, I'm in the NFL, and just showed me so much love, bro. It's been a while, and I ain't seen him in a minute.
Man. It's great to be with y'all, man, and banging heads with this guy.
Yeah.
I know it, dog.
We had to go. I played with you, but I had to bang heads with this dude, man.
Right.
Same draft class and everything,
right.
bro. But it's funny how it comes back around full circle as we keep going, right?
100%, man. We're 16 years since I was on playing 07, but since 98, come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Syracuse, right?
Absolutely not.
Right.
The other orange and blue.
Other orange.
Auburn Tigers.
Auburn, that's right. Auburn Tigers. There was an orange in there. Yeah.
Hey, bro. So you got a lot of stuff going on, but yourself, Jim McMahon, Evan Britton, you teaming up nationwide brand venture with Revenant MJ.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I started Revenant.
Give us some
Sure. You know, my whole experience in playing the NFL like you guys, right, and what happens at the end of it, you know, and for all of us is just a lineup of pill bottles, you know, dealing with all these injuries and all this pain and struggle, right? Cognitive stuff started happening to me. Tutan knows I dealt with it when I was playing. A lot of dizzy spells, things like that were occurring. Post-football career got worse. In and out of the hospital all the time. So, you know, this experience I've had in cannabis, I've been talking about for over a decade now, you know, is real. You know, saved my life, got me back to where I am today, and continuing to still spread this message and till it's over. You know, our goal is to get the NFL to just completely stop testing for cannabis, period. It's the only thing that players should be using, from my experience, as using this for a true medicine. And I've had opportunities to speak to the NFL about it, and the needle's moving. You know, nobody's been suspended in 2 years of the NFL, which is an amazing thing to say for cannabis.
I think what I remember is when we were in the league, when I first got in the league, I should say, they had a pill they used to give us called Vioxx.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? They have Vioxx, right? And they would, so they would give it to you, you know, when you banged up and you're hurting and everything. But then within a 2-year period, they came out and said, all right, if we're giving you Vioxx, it may cause long-term kidney damage or something like that. So I was like, damn, we've been taking this shit there every freaking day, and now you tell us? But that you were ahead of your time, ahead of, you know, the knowledge that we all had as players, because we didn't just take the pills that they were giving. And you were a proponent, honestly, of cannabis back then when it really was shunned upon, but now with the education of the health benefits for us as opposed to opioids. Talk about why you thought about that and why you felt that over the years, man.
Well, I had that initial experience when I was playing and using cannabis. It was given to me by a Hall of Fame player. Took me home one day, realized I was going through a lot of issues. You know, on and off the field, it's tough to be a player in the National Football League. People don't understand we're real people, you know, so you got real world issues. And, you know, just from sleep and, appetite, all those things that it helped me with, where I felt like, oh, wow, I can finally get rest. I can finally eat better, you know, so I can maintain this body that we need to maintain to play in the NFL. Because I wasn't a drug guy, you know. I grew up with the dream. That was the focus. That was the goal. You know, no drugs. Grew up Mormon, so, you know, nothing. No, I didn't drink. I still don't drink, you know. So why is this happening to me? It's because I got to the end of my rope, you know, almost literally, unfortunately. It was a gun in my car, you know, in these moments where you're just contemplating this life and is it worth living? And that just shouldn't happen anymore, because I realized after getting off all those pills, using this plan, that would have never happened to me. I never would have have got to that mindset ever. I can't believe I was ever in that mindset since being able to get away from those pills. So it's a real resolution that I have to speak about. And, tried to, massage it in there over the years, little subtle innuendos. They got me and Bob Lee, talking about, marijuana and things like that from old interviews, like over 10 years, almost 15 years ago or more, maybe 20 years ago when I was still, playing, I think, even. And, now we're able to talk about it. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, and I think the misconception is, you have THC, then you have CBD. I'm not a scientist or knowing the component of what measures 5-10% of what, but the CBD component is very important as well when you look at it in the big picture. Can you share some insight on that?
Yeah, well, that's where I first started with this message, because I knew that at the base level of cannabis is CBD, and it has that opportunity in a pure, isolate form to be able to have these resolutions and anti-inflammatory properties to sleep and all these other things. Dealing with pain, it can do that. But when you talk about the inclusion of THC and the resolutions I've experienced in that department, cured neuropathy. I had neuropathy, plantar fasciitis, both feet, creeping up my legs. I wanted to cut them off, honestly, and it's shameful to say with all the veterans I've been around things with, but literally the pain is so intense that you're like, please get to the point where these prosthetics are permanent so I can just hack these things off. And in 2.5 months, I'm back running. Don't have to wear shoes anymore. That's some real stuff there of using high concentrate THC oils. And there's a process to that, just like a Z-Pack or anything else you're getting diagnosed or prescribed out here for these injuries. Cannabis can be applied in those same situations, and I've done it now over a decade of not taking any pills and sticking only to that. Again, don't drink, don't do other drugs. Focus fully on what this plant can do for me, and it continues to show me every day is the answer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No doubt, man.
Truly is.
We know you got to go. You got some other interviews to do, but from a little brother to a big brother, I remember like you drawing pictures of me sleeping in the meeting room, and the time they made me actually drive to get chicken biscuits because I was late, bringing freaking donuts and milk to the locker room.
You didn't have to go through the gauntlet.
They didn't give me the gauntlet, though. They never did the rookie hazing. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Never made me. They actually, my rookie dinner, I didn't have to pay for the rookie dinner. You know what I'm saying? They took me out. So I had some real dope vets, Kyle Turley, Wally Williams, Big Willie Rofe, man, Jerry Fontenot, Chris Naoli, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was some dope guys, man.
It was a special group.
Love you, bro. Real spill. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Likewise, man. It was an awesome group. That's the thing we miss when we leave the locker room, unfortunately, is that brotherhood. Yeah. And in the NFL, everybody goes back to where they're from, you guys, 2 SEC guys. I'm from the West Coast, it's like, but you're from New York. Where'd you grow up?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
So you're there local. But, you would be back in New York, you know what I mean, if you weren't sticking around there.
Facts.
So it's one of those things, man, where the NFL provided a lot of opportunity, but then when you leave it, the depression sets in. You're so far gone from that dream,
that
and
pinnacle,
that family too. Just what you knew and what was so familiar. The real world's hard enough to deal with, and for everybody out there. So anything that can help, is what it's about. So we can continue to do this and keep coming back.
Def.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all.
Continue to educate everybody, and before we let you go, we introduced a clip. Great clip that our audience loved.
Yeah.
It goes back to 911.
Yeah.
With you and Jim Haslett in the meeting room, and they wanted y'all to practice. So I just want, for validation, was the story told correctly?
I don't know. I saw the clip of it. Somebody sent it to me, and immediately they're like, "Man, check this out." Anyways, I love that he brought it up.
Yeah.
I just didn't know where y'all went with it. Did it go into the fight in the parking lot?
See, I didn't tell about the fight in the parking lot. I didn't know how deep you wanted to go. But there was more to it. I remember you standing on the table, throwing the banana at Coach Haslett, and I heard the tussle outside. Yeah. But I was a young player, second-year player, so I didn't go out with the vets. But I heard that,
Oh, you didn't go out there?
I didn't go.
Man,
Wally and Willie and them went out there. But I heard that a certain player dusted up a certain head coach.
That's why we didn't go to Pittsburgh, because
somebody got their hands
carried in the parking lot, and Jim Haslett says to me, "Kyle," as I'm walking to my truck, stomping, kick the door open. The whole team's like, "Ooh, we're following this," into the parking lot. And in the parking lot of the same facility out there's me and Jim Haslett with our hands around each other's necks, rolling around down the parking lot like, what are you doing, mother? like just Big Norman Hand comes and picks me up from behind. Big Norman Hand, rest his soul, picks me up from behind, you know, pulls me off. Sammy Knight grabs Jim Haslett, pulls Jim Haslett off, like, and then we're like literally fighting in the parking lot, man. And then that was it. That was all right. We're not going to Pittsburgh anymore.
Thank you for your leadership.
That's
Definitely.
right. That's
Appreciate
right.
you, bro.
Somebody had to, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that was just so crazy, you know. And I guess that was my first situation of dealing with the NFL in these situations, you know. And I was like, no, this isn't happening today. We wanted the veterans to resolve it in the beginning. They had the old guys go up there. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to talk with the coach. We're like telling Jerry Fontenot. We're like, hey, man, tell him. No. And I told Jerry, I'm like, don't you tell him that it is not going to go well for them if they say we're going to Pittsburgh still, if they want to have this meeting.
And they didn't get the memo.
And they came down, and that's why I'm sitting next to Tutan. I'm like,
he was leaning on the table.
They're going to go to Pittsburgh.
I'm looking at him like, oh, shit.
Oh, no, they're going to Pittsburgh. I just remember. We ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Wow. Stood up on the table. Who's going somewhere? Y'all going to Pittsburgh?
No.
Classic, bro. Classic. Well,
I
listen,
appreciate y'all bringing that up, man.
When you come to Atlanta, bro, we love to have you on the podcast, man.
Heck yeah,
and keep
for
these
sure.
stories
Come
going,
in the
man.
lab.
Back there soon, man.
And
We
you
got
have a
volleyball
podcast too, right?
Yeah, we started one 3-point stance. Me and King Dunlap, just from that lineman
King
trench
Dunlap.
perspective.
Shout out.
And hopefully maybe get on y'all's platform, man.
Yeah.
We just started it, so we'll see
Absolutely.
what happens. But
Much love to the fan, too.
we'll be down there. Volleyball. My daughter's in volleyball, so we come to ATL all the time, man. And my son's in travel ball, and I live in Nashville now again. So
Right on, bro.
Love
it's
to
set,
you, the
for
fam,
sure.
the wife, everything.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
Love y'all, man. Appreciate
Salute,
you.
bro.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.